Hello, my name is Emily Adianis, and I did my undergrad work in architecture and community design at the University of San Francisco, and I will soon be starting NYU's master's program in historical and sustainable architecture. The preservation community needs to know when to denounce a historic site when it is being recognized for the wrong reasons. We need not erase the past of these wrongdoings, but we do need to understand it, acknowledge it, and expose it. And by doing this, we influence the community that surrounds us to create a successful built environment that envelopes past, present, and future. Because only then does that include all of us, and only then do we rightfully preserve.
A warm Hafaday and hello from the island of Guam. I am Joe Kinata from the Guam Preservation Trust. In Guam, we believe that preservation is a public responsibility that is shared through education, cooperation, and advocacy, all linking to our respective heritage. We've developed educational programs for school-age youth, young scholars, and our community as a whole to build their capacity to think critically and to inspire them to express their knowledge of who they are as a people and how we all connect to the rest of the world. Developing relationships and sharing resources builds a foundation to greater success in addressing today's pressing matters. The Guam Preservation Trust is greatly known for developing genuine cooperation with local, regional, national, and even international organizations and communities to address many pressing challenges that we all share. It is through advocacy and great passion that the Guam Preservation Trust remains vibrant and strong as we engage with our communities to continue preserving and protecting our heritage for our benefit and for our future. Sizus Masi, and thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Kimberly Rose, and I am the coordinator of Acclimate Nantucket on Nantucket Island, Massachusetts. But it's more important than ever to make sure that a community is getting what it needs in order to be resilient and in order to prepare for climate change and all of the challenges that it brings with it. Preservation has always been about preserving for the tomorrow, but it's the actions we take today that make tomorrow possible. And we need to make sure that we are giving the communities the resources, the frameworks, the connections, the networks, whatever it needs in order to be successful and stay in place as long as possible in the face of climate change.
Hi, I'm Cindy Alnick, a communications specialist devoted to advancing the field of historic preservation. We can pass the mic to the people whose stories need telling. We can use our resources to amplify their voices. We can use stories to show exactly how preservation addresses these broader issues. We can listen to our audiences. It's about them, not us. And we can ditch the jargon. On a broader scale, we can start the hard work of reframing preservation. I wouldn't mind renaming it as well, but in the meantime, we can use communications research and social science to understand how humans perceive information, how people really think about what we call preservation, and how we can frame messages to actually change the conversation. Clear, compelling communications not only conveys our relevance, it plays a key role in attaining it as well.
Hello, I'm Michael Allen from St. Louis, Missouri. And if you're like me, you've probably spent some years in the field thinking, this is what we do, historic preservation. And this is what the rest of the world does, heritage conservation or cultural heritage. We're historic preservationists practicing historic preservation, and the rest of the world practices some version of heritage or heritage conservation. My call for preservationists is to spend the next few years really increasing our connections outside of the United States, bringing our beautiful movement here into union with the rest of the world, where we can productively fight the challenges that face everyone worldwide.
Hi, my name is Ethio Arlington, and I'm with Historic Macon Foundation in Macon, Georgia. I think historic preservation has a unique opportunity right now in our country to address some of the major issues going on. For instance, I think that preservation should be more in tune with housing needs and opportunities for more housing options. As preservationists, we should be looking at all landscapes, all built environments, and all housing opportunities. At Historic Macon, we are slowly kind of getting into this. We are buying multifamily housing, rental housing to provide more opportunities for housing in neighborhoods where we're working. But what we've learned is that the demographics of our community and communities across the country are not just limited to single-family owner-occupied housing. And so we're trying to fill in some of those gaps and make sure that everyone has housing options where they can.
African Americans own less than half of 1% of all farms in the United States. And of the 7,000 farms in Vermont, there are only about 19 that are African American owned. Our family has owned this farm since 1962. We're working to preserve the entire 148-acre property, which includes the barn house and 4 other historic buildings. Our farm has recently been added to the state of Vermont's African American Heritage Trail. So what is preservation to me? It's art. It's heritage. Identity. Legacy. And love.